I always painted as a kid, but for me, it really started about 16 months ago. So I went back to Nigeria to visit my dad. My dad lives there. And I had these raw canvases and pastels and charcoal at the house. I've been there for probably about 5 years. And then, I just felt like creating something. And that's how this body of work actually did start. I prefer to work in acrylic. That would be my medium of choice. It's easier than oils, it dries fast, you can change it as you go. But with this body of work, I started playing with charcoal and chalk and pastel as well, and oil sticks. So I'm literally like combining all of them at the same time. So Ori in Yoruba is translated as head. But that also includes like the sensory organs, our eyes, our sense of taste, our touch, hearing and smelling as well. It also represents a metaphysical concept that relates to like our destiny and why we are on earth. And people who practice Yoruba as a religion, that it's pretty much the center of what they practice. So for me, taking that concept, I wanted to emphasize the importance of the head, because the head does contain pretty much all of our sensory experiences, and without the head, there's really nothing else. I mean, my background's Yoruba, and the Yoruba are very proud of where they're from. They also believe that Ile-Ife, which is it's a city in Yoruba land, and the Yorubas believe that life started with them, so they believe this is the cradle of life. So for me, referencing the Yorubas for my work, it was also an ode to the Yoruba land being like the source of art. And in my work, I'm trying to get that across, because as you can see, it has this sort of like otherworldly, there's something very like historical about the medium I've chosen to use as well, and how it comes across in the work. I'm telling several different stories in the story. There's a story of the gay black male, there's a story of the African male, there's a story of the African American male. And what I've chosen to do is represent black men as strong, which we are. And you can see this in like how muscular the subjects are. But then there's also like there's also fragility to them, because they're composed of these tiny little shapes. And it's almost like even though they're strong and they appear defiant and fearless, they could be like nothing in a second. The eyes are also a huge part of my work, and I'm showing the vulnerability, which I feel that the media doesn't always represent black men as having. We're always sort of represented as being like strong and fearless and aggressive, but there's this other side to us. We're human as well, and we're soft, we're delicate, we're all of these other things that everyone else is. So for me, it's that juxtaposition of the soft and the hard and the delicate and the aggressive, and I think that's what comes out of my work. Art-wise, I'm really working towards an installation project. I'm planning to go back to Nigeria, and I want to create a body of work there that will be shown there and will be brought back to the US as well. I can't say too much though, but yeah, that's the plan. My ammo is, just being, proud of who I am, proud of where I'm from, and also just thankful for the support I've had over the last 16 months, because, friends, New York has been really nice to me. Like, I don't live here, but people have just been like very open and welcoming. And I think for me, it's just that, sense of, belonging, and that's also something I'm trying to like communicate in my work. It's this idea of like belonging, and yeah.